extremely ridiculous. Well, it's not ridiculous. It was actually extremely hard, mortifying, or something. Um, but yeah, and I have decided that I am going to yap about Paramore on live stream on my YouTube channel. No one watches. So, um, yeah, Paramore is like my favorite band ever. Okay, they used to be like my second favorite band because I used to like another band a little more back in school because but I don't like them anymore because of their views on Palestine. um which is very neutral, like, oh, I support both sides bullshit. Yeah, but this is not Paramore. This is the other band I like more than Paramore, which is not relevant. Anyway, so Paramore was my first band. It was the first band I ever got into. I didn't really listen to bands as a kid. And then I like listened to Let the Flames Begin, and then an online friend of mine on a forum on his site fanfiction.net recommended That's What You Get to Me, and I was like, holy shit. And it was just like love at first sight. Like, I hated rock before that. I was like, music is supposed to sound soothing, you're supposed to listen. I used to listen to shitty nightcore, and it's like, oh yeah, like rock is stupid. And also I had like a huge disdain for rock because it's such a male dominated genre. like no. Yeah, and so that's what drew me to Paramore, because you have like a woman screaming here, and it highly influenced my music taste now, which is and my love for angry girl music. And Paramore is just very, very, very iconic. So like I started with the Riot album, which is like such a good album to get into rock music if you've never gotten into it, which is what I was in seventh grade. And Paramore truly got me through so much in high school. It's what Olivia Rodrigo is to me now. And it still is that in a lot. Like, I was listening to Paramore yesterday. I was like, this still holds up. Like the music, lyrics, it's so introspective, it's so relatable to just like, just for people who are emotional train wrecks. But yeah, the thing with Paramore is they are like you can truly see the arc of them like growing up and their character development as they move through the albums. um and I don't understand people who are like, oh, they peaked with Brand New Eyes. Like, okay, Brand New Eyes is iconic. It was my high school crash out album. I would go to school, I would be gay, I would like cry, I would do whatever loser shit I did in school, and then I would come back and I would blast Brand New Eyes, and that was my catharsis. Okay, Brand New Eyes is so iconic. It's like peak. But I truly think Paramore does not, like, they have not made a bad album. They have not made even a mediocre album. They haven't made a not great album since their first album, which was kind of mediocre and fudge. But I've listened to that a bunch of times, but it never hit the way the rest of them did. Probably because they were literally 15-year-olds making it, and yeah. So I don't get people who like like, honestly, I think Josh Farrow was mid. Yeah, I'm a Josh Farrow hater. Like, firstly, the Christian bullshit, like what was up, like, oh, the truth, I was like, we're contradicting the Bible. And just in general, I think him leaving was a good thing for the band. I think they honestly, their self-titled is amazing, and just probably my favorite album of theirs, and so personal to me. And the thing with Paramore is like every song is so personal to me almost. After all, we know it's falling because I've listened to them so much. I've grown up listening to them. They meant so much to me. They've been with me through so many crises and emotional breakdowns and points of my life, right? So I have like a deeply personal story for so many of the songs, and I'm probably gonna start yapping about it, about them, the stories. But yeah, I don't know where I was. But yeah, Paramore is just it's quoted. I love them, And yeah, Josh Farrow is pathetic. Like, why is he like 11 years after he's been relevant to anyone? Why is he just randomly suing Olivia Rodrigo for making goated music? Like, just there. Anyway, so starting with their first album, All We Know Is Falling. I think All We Know Is Falling is mid, honestly. I like the songs they're decent, they're fun, angry, food, but they're not compared to the rest of their discography. It's just yeah, not my favorite. I don't listen to it a lot. Like I have listened to the full album and I have listened to the songs a bunch, but they aren't very important to me, right? So what the good songs on Alvin is following. I like Conspiracy. I think Conspiracy is a fun song. I like Here We Go Again is fun. Never Let This Go is fun. I like My Heart for the ridiculous teenage angsty bonus. Baby, if my heart stops beating, it won't hurt this one. Very real. Um, what else? What other songs were on that album? Franklin was made. Like I don't care about a United States like state. No, I don't. Um, what else was there? I can't remember what else was there. Oh, other than the singles, I'm leaving the singles for the end, obviously. Yeah. So there was all we know is falling. You know. Oh yeah, that song was fun. Like banger introduction. Um, Pressure, R.I.P. Jeremy. Emergency. Okay, so Emergency is the only song I have like a kind of a funny story about. So I always had this theory that Emergency was about periods, you know, um, and the emergency is like your first period, like a person's first period, and the emergency was like, oh shit, like I'm in class and I stained my pants or whatever. Yeah, that was and it's not your fault because someone gets to talk about it. And like I've seen love die so many because people start being weird around you once you like get your period. And okay, it's just very weird ass interpretation I had of that song. So yeah, that's All We Know Is Falling, which is their only mid album truly. Then Riot is such a banger. Every song is such a banger. Like, ooh. Okay, so in this era, I do think Haley had like a bit of internalized misogyny, and it's understandable, like being a woman in a male dominated scene, like, the rock scene. But despite that, the music was such like she's always saying stuff like, "Oh, be a man about it." Like, why don't you like just in a way like, "Oh, I'm more of a man than you are," which is like kind of goated, honestly, despite the misogyny. Yeah, I love the for a pessimist. Like, it's such a banger. Like for a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic. Such a strong introduction. Such a like so full of energy. Like I need more songs with that kind of energy. Just like fuck off. Like just feel your feelings, fool. The Regrets reference. Oh. Yeah, I don't even listen to the Regrets that much. But yeah, it's just like just suck it up and own up to your feelings, man. Like, yeah. Um, the only thing about the Riot songs is that they were like addressed more explicitly to men, which is very unrelatable to me. But pretty easy stuff to overlook. I have a lot of, you know, it's my favorite thing to do, making songs about men, about women. That's what you get is such a real. Okay, so I feel like I relate to the song so much more as an adult than I did as a teenager. Because as a teenager, like, okay, fine, I hadn't unlocked a lot of shit. I hadn't unlocked love. I hadn't unlocked feelings. I genuinely don't think I felt love until I was 14. Like, I was like I said, yeah, okay, I love my friends, I love my sister, but I really, though? Like I honestly was too depressed to feel things like that. Then I turned 14, the floodgates opened, and I have been the emotional train wreck I am since. Yeah. So that's what you get is so relatable for train wrecks who don't think with their brain because love is ever logical. Yeah, and just constantly just the emotional train wrecks basically like yeah, constantly letting my heart win and regretting my life decisions. Most recently, today, which I will not get into. Anyway, then you have Hallelujah, which banger vocals, so fun to sing along to. Um, I don't really care about the Christian lyrics. Like, okay, Josh Farrow was writing them. I get it, whatever. But Haley had a cold while recording the song, and you cannot tell. The lyrics are so like it's just such a fun song to scream to. Misery business. Okay, so I didn't like this song as when I first got into Paramore. I was like, not just because of the whole lyric, but because like I don't know. I never liked the whole women fighting over men shit. But I like it now purely because it's a banger and yeah, like body like an hour. Okay, that's kind of gay, honestly. Yeah. My this one blogger that I had like sort of a crush on had a playlist called internalized misogyny is kind of gay and homoerotic if you think about it. And the song was on it. Like when you hate women so much that as a woman, but it's not really hatred, it's just like oh yeah, anyway, I sound like I'm on crack and in my defense it's like 2 a.m. Yeah, then there is what's the fifth song? When it rains. Okay. Yeah, that's a sad one. Just yeah. Then Let the Flames Begin was my first ever Paramore song. Extreme banger. Okay, so my favorite song on Riot is, and one of my favorite Paramore songs ever is Miracle. So I've always been a bit of a hopeless romantic when it comes to my friends. Like in a friend way. I'm just like, holy shit, love is gonna save us all, the power of friendship. I I literally love my best friend so much. I am going to make it like my whole personality. Like as a teenager especially, I was like living for my friends. They were my reason to stay alive. And miracle is like when you just love someone so much and you just like I don't know how to you're like okay, even if you don't believe in yourself, I am going to be there for you and I am not leaving. Like my love is stronger than whatever self-hatred you have. It's like I'm not gonna let you give up, bitch. You're stuck with me. And even though the friendship that I associated the song with is no longer in my life. It's just a song that I really love with my friends. Like when your love feels so all consuming and powerful and like yeah, okay, maybe love can't fix you, but it is going to be there the entire time. It is so strong and so it's not faith if you use your eyes, like you are going to get through this. And I'm gonna be there the entire time. Understand. So afraid to feel your eyes on. Yeah, I love Miracle a lot. It's my favorite. Yeah. It's one of my favorite love songs, honestly. And again, I love Paramore's love songs as rare as they are. Not the popular ones, which is the only exception, and still and you. I love their actual rock love songs because you can tell it's so much more them. because it's so, I don't know, it represents the way I feel love very strongly, I think. Like, it's like anger and passion and Jesus fucking Christ, I love you! But like in a platonic way. I think Paramore, one thing I like about Paramore is that most of their songs are very platonic but also very intense, which is kind of rare for. So it's like, yeah, I fucking love my friends, and then they break up with their friends, and they're like, no, I'm gonna. But yeah, it's just friendship breakup songs, depression. God, like I want to kill myself, but I have my friends. Oh God, my friends left me. But it's just very real stuff. Like even the romantic songs are very platonic, and even the platonic songs are very romantic. I don't know how to. It's just really okay. Yeah. So then, what else was there? There's that other, that other slow song. I forgot what it was called. Your arms like towers, tower. Oh, we are broken. That's a fun song. It sounds nice. I don't really have thoughts about it right now. Um, and then what else was there? Oh, crush, crush. Those things. No, thank you. Okay, yeah. This song I used to be a gay disaster back in middle school, and I would listen to this song and I'm like, I would delude myself into thinking, what if she's secretly gay and like likes me back, even though I rationally knew there was zero possibility of that. I would just spend the entire day waiting for a chance to talk to her and be like, crush, crush. Except I was in denial back then of it being a crush. So I was in denial, but I would still listen to Crush, Crush, Crush and think of her. Yeah. Anyway, what other songs were on Riot? Yeah, Broken, Miracle, Crush, 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 Let the Flames Begin, When It Rains. Born for This, but I can't remember if there was something before Born for This. We were born for the. Oh, Fences. Fences. Fences was a banger. It's just a really good, underrated track. But I personally don't find it relatable, so I don't listen to it a lot. But I don't know. It's about fame and like just I don't even find it relatable in a fandom context. But I guess it's a fun. The thing with Riot is emotionally it's not the album I connect to the most, but I love it in terms of music and like bangers. It's such a fun, dancey, feel good album. Yeah, Born for This is also like very, very fun. Everybody sing like it's the last song you will ever sing. Tell me, you feel the pressure. Tell me, you feel the pressure. Right now, you're the only reason I'm not letting go. Oh, and time out if everyone's worth pleasing. Oh, and then let's drop this song. Oh god, yeah. In the Albino is Falling era, I really loved this one B side called Just Like Me. It sounded like kind of Evanescence vibes. It was just really fun. Does not sound like Paramore, but it's good. Like, I stepped on the stairs, tripped over your fragile ego. I love when she just roasts the shit out of man. I love back in the brand new AF era how they literally said that Haley would be writing songs ranting about her bandmates and make them play them. I think that is iconic. And if Josh didn't like it, um sucks to suck, I guess. But yeah, just I yeah. Um So there was another song other than Stop This Song, Decoy, yeah. And Decode is, I love Decode. Decode was also one of my first songs. It's just such a good song. Um, Very, very funny when you realize it's about a vampire. Like the one line where she's like, what kind of like again there was a lot of like emphasis on what kind of man you are, like be a man, or like internalized misogyny bullshit about like like this romanticized masculinity. And but it's just funny because she's like, what kind of man you are if you're a man at all. And I used to find this so funny in middle school. It was like the funniest shit ever to me that she's talking about the fact that he's not a man, he's a vampire. Bloodsucker face. Fuck. Yeah. But now I'm just like, oh, uh, if you're a man at all, that's kind of stupid. She's like, what kind of man are you? Are you even a man? Yeah, gay. I will figure this one out on my own. On my own. Okay. Then I got myself. I love I got myself. I saw someone say I got myself as like Decode's older, chiller sister, and like that's just how I view it even now. I love the fucking 1 minute ass instrumental intro. Okay, Josh, you can slay sometimes, I guess. And just pushing and pulling me down. Yeah, it's a banger. It's very relatable, unfortunately, very gay, gives very repressed gay energy. And Unfortunately, the god line in the song kinda I was like, it kinda got to me as a kid. I was like, especially a kid with OCD, I was like, oh, what was the line about God? It was something like, I think God knows the truth even if God is my witness. Yeah, I thought it was such a banger. I was okay, like, wait, yeah, God is my witness. Which is, I mean, now I don't because I'm like a God hating anti-theist. But yeah, it's a banger song about like repressed religious gayness or whatever. Okay, no, it's not about gay. Okay, Brand New Eyes. Brand New Eyes was my number one crash out album throughout high school. I was listening to that shit like every single day. Like every song on that album is like so personal and so special to me. I was like constantly listening to it and projecting on that. So starting with Careful. Careful, I would argue, is probably like one of the hardest songs to sing. The hardest Paramore song to sing, I think. And I can sing it now, but it took me a while to like be able to sing it because there's so much breath control, so much screaming, so much like you just have to maintain that. I like, yeah, so Careful is just like an ultimate banger for me. I love it so much. I love the music video that's like going around being 5% Paramore, which anyway, what I am Careful. I love that Josh got triggered over the truth never set me free, so I'll do it myself. Speaking of the other day in like our sociology class, we had like a fucking 20-minute discussion on what the difference between true and the truth is. and like it was getting really abstract, and then this one guy just straight up got up and left, even though there were like five people in the class and everyone could see him leave. I found that funny, and the entire time I was thinking about the paramore lyric. Truth never set me free, so I'll do it myself. Yeah, Careful is such a bang. Okay, so firstly, aside from being my number one crush art album in high school and also about my gay repression, I think this album is literally so gay. I think it's like the entire album is about gay repression, firstly, the entire thing. And secondly, I think this album is about Catra and Adora from Shira. And I made a whole presentation on this once. It was a shitty presentation. I just like underlined all the lines that I thought reminded. So I think this album, it's like a dual perspective album. Like both Catra and Adora are singing, and I could have sworn this album was based on the show if the show didn't come out after the album release. Like I'm just so convinced of this. Okay, it's about gay repression. It's about screaming at your ex best friend like, oh my god, can you stop being such a self-pitying, wallowing bitch and come and just fucking be try to love me. Like, yeah, it's just so Careful, I think, would be more of an Adora's perspective song where she's just like, I am grabbing my agency even though it wasn't given to me, and I need you to stop being a coward and join me and do the fucking sick cat because I'm in love with you. Yeah, Graham Crush. Yeah. Careful is so good. Yeah, anyway. Then you have Ignorance, which is my number one projecting anthem from when I was a teenager till now. And I think at one point in my life, I was like, things keep changing. I keep moving on in life, hanging out with different people, going through different things, but I think I'm always doomed to relate to hit song Ignorance. And the thing is, I have daddy issues, okay? My dad used to ignore me when he got mad as a kid for like days, and it honestly traumatized me a little bit. Um, so yeah, now I'm like really sensitive to that shit. Like, well, not now, but like growing up, I was very sensitive to people who ignore you when they're mad. Like it fucks me up. Still does. Okay, I don't know why I'm talking about my deepest vulnerabilities in public. Like, yeah, just giving people knives to stab me with. Like, oh yeah, this is what fucks me up. Now, please go ahead and do this. But yeah, um, doing that is like a surefire way to get me to like, why am I even saying this on? I should not be saying this in public. Like, this is like knowledge. I shouldn't be giving people to hurt me. But yeah, it's like people who ignore you, and then I just start obsessing. Like I go crazy when they do that. I start obsessing. Like, what did I do wrong? How do I get them to like? So, yeah, this was like my number one project in anthem. I was like, yeah, ignorance is your new best friend. Ignorance is your new best friend. You treat me just like another stranger. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, see, I love how all their songs are clearly about best friend breakups. Another reason, a reason why I highly relate, like strongly relate to them, and why Adora and Catra do as well. Yeah, I always found, I thought the line, you're not a judge, but if you're gonna judge me, then sentence me to another life, was so badass. Even though it's very teenage angst. Yeah, I think I love Ignorance. It's like, it's one of those songs that never grows old for me. It's just iconic. My sister used to hate it. It was her least favorite song in the world. And every time I played it, it was like rage bait for her. Like it's just like, oh god, it's just screaming. When I first heard Brand New Eyes, I did think it was too like screamy, too heavy. But like now, I do not feel that at all. Yeah. Um, Playing God. Okay. Playing God is obviously extremely relatable to any teenager. It's a teenage angst anthem. I don't really it's not one of my favorites now, but it's very relatable. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, fun stuff. Break it out. Next time you point a finger, I'll point you to the mirror. Yeah. So, I don't know, like, sometimes when someone says something, criticizing something you love, and then the criticism gets stuck in your head, and you can never stop thinking of the criticism, and it low key ruins it for you a little bit. Like, especially when you're young, like, obviously now I don't care when people are like, oh, the thing you like is shit. Like, okay, yeah, everything is shit, except shit, which is power. Okay, no, but yeah. Um, that happened with playing chord sounds like, oh, this song is so childish, and that kind of made me like turn me off of the song a bit because I was like a baby back then, and whatever, I don't know. Then Brick by Boring Brick. This is such a fun song to sing. I also think this is like a one of the more difficult songs to sing. Like, how people keep saying All I Wanted is like such a hard song to sing, but I personally think Careful and Brick by Boring Brick are harder. Like, she lives in a fairy tale. I sang this for an audition, and I have no idea what they thought. Um, yeah, I sang this for an audition, and then later I had to sing live in front of them. But like, I was super nervous because the person taking the audition was my friend, and I don't know, I had weird feelings about her, so I kind of joked. I had no idea what she thought of my video club, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, Big by boring break, falling down. Keep your feet on the ground, your head's in the clouds. Oh, oh, oh. It's a complete banger, and it's sad to see the progression from Brick by Boring Brick to Last Hope to 26. You know what? I will continue rambling about Paramore later because it is actually 2:13. Or maybe I'll ramble about Paramore for a little more, and then I will continue rambling later. I guess. I'll finish rambling about Brand New Eyes maybe. Yeah, Brick by Burning Brick. It has such a pretty music video too, and it's such a real fun song. Oh god, I always used to hear the lyric, her prince finally came to find her, as her breasts finally came in. Yeah, I don't know why I heard that. But yeah, again, it's giving compare. um, yeah. Break my boring break on the side of one town. Keep your feet on the ground. Turn It Off was my favorite est song, my favorite Paramore song back in the day. Now I would say it's Last Hope because that song actually kind of, I was clinging onto it when I was deeply suicidal last year. Like, I was suicidal throughout my teens, like on and off, especially like in my early teens. I was extremely suicidal, but I think the worst it's ever gotten was last year. And last year I was just listening to Last Hope a lot during that time, and it really helped me. And Last Hope is just, it's even before that, and it's such a beautiful song. It's gotten me through, so especially the live Come on, Chicago. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't even. Blah. Yeah. Hmm. Put yourself on the ladder up high every night, and then accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. I need to write that on my hand for real. I need to write it like the way Haley did. Anyway, Turn It Off was my favorite song before that, way back in the day. I just found it so like well written and relatable and angsty, like in all my spine. I turn it off, and I love the whole. And the worst part is, before it gets any better, we're headed for a cliff, and in the free fall, I will realize I'm better off when I hit the bottom. Yeah, I will just let those lyrics speak for themselves. They, yeah, very very relatable. Um, very. It's like, to me the song is about getting disillusioned with someone you used to idolize. I never said I'd save you, honey, and I don't want your money. I was listening to Idol Worship today and I was like, oh, this song bangs. I love how the whole album of After she's just like being like so like saccharinely sarcastic and sweet, like ha 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 ha. Oh my god, I'm depressed. Let's dance about it. And then by the time she gets to Idol Worship and No Friend, she was like lost it. She's like completely lost it. She's like, okay, I don't even have it in me to be sarcastic anymore. I'm just gonna fucking scream, man. Yeah. And then tell me how it's just sad. But whatever, I'm gonna speak about after later. Let me just finish yapping about brand new lines. I think of all the weapons you fight with, your silence was the most violent is so relatable. I almost low-key quoted it today while but that's a story for another day. And again, the thing with the ignorance, like, I don't know, can people just communicate? Like, it's whatever, yeah. Um, Ignorance was me through so many friendship ruptures and breakups and whatever the fuck. Like, I was like, why aren't you talking to me? Yeah. Anyway, Turn It Off is like a god tier song. And again, I think this is a very Catadora song too. Everything in this album is very Catadora, honestly. Like every single song, like I could go into why some more, like, yeah. Um this song is about disillusionment primarily, right? Just getting disillusioned with like the elders in your life, the adults primarily, but just in general. And realizing, wait, everything they told you was a lie. We are doomed. Mama, we are gonna die. Yeah, and that's very Catadora to me. That's what's her name? Adora realizing Shadow Weaver is not it. That's Catra realizing the same thing about Adora later. Anyway, then there's the only exception, which is Mid. Remember when someone asked Haley what her favorite song on Brand New Eyes is? Because the song was about that fucking cheater. And then she's like, anything except the only exception. Which I know she's like bitter because he cheated on her, but I think honestly that's a valid answer even without that context of, oh yeah, I'm pushing off the love goggles and the Kadal Kannadi, and I'm like, God, this was so pathetic. Like, which is how I used to feel sometimes when I would read like old love letters I wrote to people I like, my ex friends. That's gross. Why the fuck would I say that? But now I just think it's cute and endearing, like, oh, whatever. Since I was like silly, like, oh, I had really thought they were everything, huh? Like, but yeah, the only exception I would say is one of the more mid songs on the album, like, but it is a fun, it is relatable, where when as a teen you're like all edgy and like everything's stupid, love is dumb, and then you kind of want to make an exception. But yeah, it's a good song. Just not the vibe of the rest of the album, I would say. It's the only exception. Okay, but yeah, I always heard the lyric, and my mama swore that she would never let herself forget. I always heard let herself forget as wet herself again. Like, wet herself again. Yeah. And I always like, wow, damn, adult bedwetter representation. I don't fucking know. Yeah. And that was the day that I promised I'd never sing of love if it does not exist. Darling, you are the only exception. Very repetitive chorus, not generally. Anyway, feeling sorry. Okay, this song. Okay, it used to be my least favorite song on the album because I felt so called out when I listened to it. It reminded me of my fucking mother telling me to just get out of my head, stop crying, stop being a crybaby, loser, depressed, wannabe, and like just get over myself and like, yeah. But then later, I started seeing it. I was like, started seeing the vision. I was like, wait, there is some reality to this. You do have, like, obviously, depression is not a choice. Obviously, mental illness is not a choice. Obviously, misery is not a choice. But to some extent, you do have agency in how much worse you make it for yourself. And this is something that it's one of those things that you can't tell people, because if you just say it unsolicited, it's really bitchy and devoid of context and all the hard work they're putting in. But it's something you need to learn yourself. You need to understand yourself that you have a choice to actively make your situation worse or fight it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, as a depressed person, at least this has been my experience. Sometimes you need to be a little bit mean to yourself. Um, Sometimes you do have a choice, but it's complicated. Okay, it's different and it's complicated and it's very specific in a way that only you can access yourself, right? Like, if somebody is like, oh bro, just go exercise or something and you'll be fine, like, that would probably just make me spiral more. But yeah, it's real. Like, when you're stuck in one of those codependently, like, crabs in a bucket relationship where you're like bonding over your trauma, but that means that you getting better might mean you losing the relationship, and you have to leave. Sometimes you have to leave and you have to be like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep enabling both of us getting worse anymore. But I hope you get out someday. More than anything. So it's like, it's a really good song. And it's how Adora felt about Catra. But yeah, I love Feeling Sorry. It, like, it went from my least favorite song to probably my favorite song on the album. Um, Maybe. There are a lot of good songs. I love Careful. I love Ignorance. I love Where the Lines Overlap. Picking a favorite, turn it off too. It's picking a favorite is so hard. But probably Feeling Sorry is the one I listen to the most now. It's like, So it's so relatable when you see someone who just clearly, like, you want to help them, you feel sorry for them, and they're hurting you, but you can just tell they don't want to get better. And like, at some point you can reach a point where you don't want to get better anymore, you're tired of trying. And the thing is, it's a difficult thing to talk about, and I'm a little too brain dead to talk about something that serious right now, but yeah. And then looking up, I love the transition from feeling sorry into looking up. Looking up is such a fun song. I love the false ending. God knows the world doesn't need another band. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. I can believe we almost hung it up. And then she actually almost hung it up. Yeah, it's funny and iconic. I remember back in my first year, I there was this guy, okay, and I wanted to be his friend because he was high key. Like, okay, I don't want to give out too many details because then I'll make it very obvious who I'm talking about, and it could be used to incriminate me, and someone could send this to him, and whatever. That would be embarrassing. It's probably not going to happen, but you know. And I tried being his friend really hard, and I don't think he liked me at all. He was like, "Oh God, this annoying bitch, can she like leave me alone?" And then one day he smiled at me, and my first thought was, "Things are looking up. Oh, finally." Thought I never see the day when you smile at me. We always pull through. Oh, when we try. Okay. Yeah, this is a very again Catadora. So that like that fuck ass homoerotic gay friendship that never ends, and every time you're like, I'm done, something happens, and you're like, shit. I really can never leave, huh? Anyway, um, yeah. Then you have where the lines overlap. Am I really truly going through every fucking song in Paramore's discography? That's so okay. Yeah, I love where the lines overlap is, I think, another one of the like bangerest songs on the album. I always used to like find the title kind of weird though. Like, can lines overlap truly? Can lines overlap? Because shapes can overlap, but can lines as purely two-dimensional entities overlap? Yes, I am bringing math into this to ruin it. Because lines technically can intersect, but also lines can overlap if they're like if they're like the same line. If they're the same line, not the same line segment, the same line, because lines are infinite. So if they're the same line and they have more than 2 points in common, they can overlap, but otherwise they can't. But I don't think that's what she meant. So I think the song should have been where the lines intersect. But yeah, again, this is a very Catradora homoerotic gay evil friendship song where it's like, honestly, can you believe we crossed the world when it's asleep? I never traded. Yeah, it's just very. Yeah, it's like that one friendship that gives you so much euphoria when it's going well, but it's also like kind of a disaster, honestly. But when it's going well, though. Anyway, I love where the lines overlap. I want to listen to it now. No one is as lucky as us. Is as lucky as us. Is as lucky as us. call me over. Also, the first two lines are fucking iconic. I have a screenshot of them and I send the screenshot to my sister like every like month, and then I pin it because pinned messages get deleted after a month. Yeah, I'm just like, give me attention. I need it now. It's too much distance to measure it out loud. Yeah, I love that. The lines overlap. It's such a fun, amazing, beautiful, perfect, brilliant. Okay, it's not perfect because maybe I'm not perfect. At least I'm working on it. 22 is like the worst idea I've ever had. Okay, well, I'm clearly too sleepy to even sing properly. But yeah, I am going to sing that when I turn 22. Which is going to be soon. I'm so excited to turn 22 for like primarily these two reasons. One, so I can sing 22 is like the worst idea that I've ever had, and I've had this post queued in my Tumblr for like since I was 18 when I turned 18 for when I'm 22, which is like that one person sending an ask to someone saying, um, um what was I saying? I am begging you to have some introspection. You are a 21-year-old. And then, which by the way is something I have been telling myself daily since I turned 21 recently. I'm like, you're a fucking adult, Kavya. You can't keep acting like this. You can't keep letting your heart win, so to speak. Like, you're an adult. Have some self control. Have some emotional regulation. What the fuck are you doing? But yeah. And then this fucking Chad replies, held off answering this ask until I turned 22, so you would be wrong. And yeah, I queued that for my 22nd birthday. So yeah, I'm excited to turn 22 for those two reasons, which is crazy because I didn't think I would reach 21. I was very suicidal last year, and I genuinely did not believe, like, I came so, yeah, genuinely didn't believe I'd reach 21. But now I can't wait to turn 22. Well, I can wait. I'm scared now because, like, unemployment. I'm scared I won't get a job. I'm scared I'll be useless, etc. Uselessness is a, alienation, social construct, blah, blah, blah. But you get what I mean. So, yeah. Where was I? Yeah. Where the lines overlap is just, it's amazing. Yeah, it's not perfect because of the fucking intersect overlap thing I previously mentioned. Though though technically are curved lines a thing in this universe? Because curved lines are a thing. Like, people do say it, but mathematically curved line is an oxymoron. It's just a curve, you know. But anyway, anyhow, um, after where the lines overlap, okay, those three songs, feeling sorry, looking up where the lines overlap, those three songs, like that, they are the best transitioned, best three, like, together, that I have, like, that whole pump line. I have a playlist, not pump line, pipeline. I have a playlist called That Ho Punk That Ho Punk Pipeline. Because it's so real. Like, you start with like, oh my god, get it fucking together, and then you go to looking up where it's like, oh, maybe I don't need to kill myself. Being dramatic. And then where the lines overlap, which is like actually a happy fucking song. It's when the homoerotic friendship, it's like the 1% of the time the homoerotic friendship is actually going well. Okay, no, just kidding. So yeah, I love Where the Lines Overlap. Again, one of the best songs in the album. And then, though I swear I'm not saying this about every song. Okay, then you have Misguided Ghost, which I used to love, but I don't love it as much anymore. Like, yeah, just miss, though it's very real to where I am in life right now. Like, yeah, I am truly a misguided ghost traveling endlessly. What the fuck is happening, bro? Am I ever going to get a job? Do I even want a job in this field? how the fuck do I change fields? How many more years will I have to? But yeah, anyway, whatever. And we just go in circles. I am told this is life. Pain is just a simple compromise. So you can get what you want out of it. I'm gonna get it classified. The broken mind's just I'm fine. Someone to rely on and run to them, to them. Full speed ahead. You are not useless. Aww. Anyway, and then all I wanted. Oh, all I want. Okay, so all I wanted blew up recently, and it's become like a mainstream popular song, I think. And I just wonder why that one. Like there are so many better songs. Like it's a good song, sure, but I never got what the big deal was. But yeah, I also like that she like I was also like very excited when she sang it live. I was like, oh my god, she's singing it live because I know they never did that. But yeah, it's like as even she said, it's like the thing that makes it so intimidating is just that one note, right? All I wanted was you. Um, the reason I sung it so easily right now is because I didn't do it in the original key. It is harder in the original key, granted. Like, but I still don't think it's as hard as singing the entirety of Brick by Boring Brick or Careful in the original key. Because it's just the one line, like I mean, yeah, the one line that repeats a bunch of times, but all I wanted was you. But yeah, I think that note is the only impressive thing about that song. Truly, the rest of it is like, but it is kind of, yeah. Like other than that, um, yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, all I wanted for some reason reminds me of fucking Ezria from Pretty Little Liars, the pedophile ship where she's dating that guy, her teacher. But I don't know. It is also very Catadora coded. Yeah, so that's Brand New Eyes. It's amazing, beautiful, flawless album. There is not a single bad song, even though I did kind of the only reason that I kind of made it seem like there were like mid-ish or mid-adjacent songs is because in comparison to the rest of the album, like Playing God and Misguided Ghosts, all I wanted are still fucking mangoes that I would give like 8 or 9 out of 10, and still listen to. And it's just such a good album, and it's so personal to me. And for the longest time I could not decide whether I preferred um Brand New Eyes or Self-Titled, and I went back and forth a lot. I think at one point I did like Brand New Eyes more because it's such a personal, like, crash out album to me through like formative years. But I genuinely feel like I've been forgetting. I've been starting to like my formative years or whatever has started to feel less personal, more far away, like a different lifetime lately. Which might be why now it's like more solidly self-titled for me. Like easily like their best album. And even after has been like, maybe I'm just getting older. So the work they made when they were older is resonating more with me. But yeah. Okay, so that is it for now. I will finish yapping about Paramore some other time because it's almost been an hour and I would like to end it 1 hour because why not? And it's also like 2:39 and I want to go for a walk now and I want to listen to some of these songs because talking about them made me want to listen to them again. They're so good. I just love Paramore. I'm a Paramore. Yeah. I love these songs so much. I will also mention if I had any other thoughts I forgot to mention for these, and maybe even go over the entire category representation, all the lines I highlighted, and then also talk about the remaining like EP and the albums, because they're so good. Hi.